Boa noite, comunidade brasileira, início de noite aqui nos Estados Unidos, boa noite aí no Brasil, mas boa noite, comunidade brasileira aqui nos Estados Unidos, em especial nos estados do Texas, Colorado, Novo México, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas e Louisiana, que são os 7 estados sob a jurisdição do Consulado-Geral do Brasil em Houston. Estamos aqui para o último dia da nossa Feira de Educação, mas ainda com atrações super interessantes. Antes de eu passar direto para os palestrantes, eu queria só lembrar vocês de curtirem o canal, de se inscreverem, de contarem sobre esse evento para os seus amigos, para os interessados, tanto os brasileiros que moram aqui nos Estados Unidos e querem fazer uma pós-graduação ou uma graduação numa universidade aqui da nossa jurisdição, como também para os brasileiros que estão no Brasil e se interessam por vir estudar aqui. Hoje a gente vai começar o dia das nossas 2 palestras. A primeira vai ser com a UT Austin, a Universidade do Texas em Austin. Eu tenho aqui comigo a Rachelle Bumgardner, que é coordenadora de programas especiais do Centro de Língua Inglesa, e com a Veronica Peña, diretora do Centro de Admissões. Rachelle, Veronica, thank you very much for coming, for attending this meeting, and the screen is all yours.
Thank you for having us, Daniel. All right. So good afternoon or good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. If you're in the United States or in Brazil, we welcome you today to enjoy a presentation about the University of Texas. My name is Rachelle Bumgardner, as Danielle said, and I am the Special Programs Coordinator at the University of Texas at Austin's English Language Center. I'm excited to be here today to talk about our English language programs. But before I do that, I would like to give you a little background on the University of Texas. The University of Texas at Austin, or UT Austin, as we say, is located in Austin, Texas, which is the capital city of the state. We are located in the southwest region of the United States, and major international cities nearby include Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, all of which are 2 to 4 hours away by car. Austin is the 11th largest city with approximately 1 million people. It's one of the fastest growing US cities and is very safe. Weather in Austin is hot in the summer and pretty mild in the winter. The main reason Austin is such a fast growing city is because of its industry. In the early 2000s, the job market exploded with tech companies like Apple, Facebook, and Dell that are now located in Austin. And we just realized that the electric automobile manufacturer Tesla is also moving to Austin. So Austin has been labeled the new Silicon Hills, which is like its big brother, the Silicon Valley in California. Austin is known for its live music scene and its natural areas. We see about 300 sunny days a year. So swimming in local springs and lakes and doing exercise outdoors is very popular. You can't talk about Austin without mentioning the University of Texas. Founded 137 years ago, it is one of the world's leading universities. UT is recognized for its diverse contributions to research, higher education, business, the arts, and more. And that is why we say, what starts here changes the world. UT Austin is one of the largest public universities in the United States with over 50,000 students attending yearly. We have 18 colleges and more than 150 undergraduate program offerings. We also have 237 graduate program offerings, including master's and doctoral degrees. UT is a top-ranked university, both nationally and internationally, with numerous programs falling in the top 10 rank. Here are a list of colleges and schools to give you an idea of the types of programs that some of our students study. The university houses 7 museums and 17 libraries, including the LBJ Presidential Library and the Blanton Museum of Art. It's also a major center for academic research and operates various research facilities, such as the J.J. Pickle Research Campus and the McDonald Observatory. Texas Performing Arts utilizes venues across the UT campus to offer a diverse season of music, theater, and dance each year. As a university-based arts center, Texas Performing Arts supports the work of our students and faculty on stages, classrooms, studios, and production shops. Our student athletes compete as the Texas Longhorns, and our university mascot is a live Longhorn steer. Texas Global advances UT Austin's academic mission by leading, coordinating, and supporting the university's international engagement efforts. Texas Global serves over 7,800 international students and scholars from 140 different countries, including more than 400 English language students annually. Here is a graphic of our top 10 international populations by region in the 2017-18 academic year. And as you can see, Brazil is on the top 10 list with over 201 students and or faculty in that year. The English Language Center at Texas Global supports our UT students, visiting scholars, and the broader community by offering high-quality English language instruction with a number of program offerings that meet each individual's needs. And here you'll see the enrollment for the academic 2019-2020 year. This is our diverse population, as you can see by the citizenship breakdown here. We had more than 36 countries represented last year. In addition to our classes, students in our English language programs have access to a number of campus resources and activities at little to no additional cost. The English Language Center coordinates weekly social activities for our students to attend and practice their English. Before COVID, these activities included tours to local sites, game nights, and kayaking on the lake. We still offer weekly socials in a virtual format, including game nights, scavenger hunts, and themed happy hours. We also offer a weekly conversational circle meetup, which used to be in person, but has now gone virtual. These informal meetups allow students to practice English with American volunteers in smaller groups. Students learn colloquial language while also learning about the local culture. One of the 3 language programs I'll discuss today that students can enroll in is the English Language Program, or ELP. The ELP is for students who will attend a U.S. university, need English to advance their career, or just want to improve their English communication skills. The ELP has 7 levels, and students typically advance 1 level per semester. Additional information sessions are included for students who need support with applying to university programs. And currently we offer ELP classes online or in person on the UT campus, and we have socially distanced classrooms, as you can see in the photo. The second language program I'd like to share with you is the Academic English Program, or AEP. AEP is designed to help students prepare for graduate school. AEP will help students improve their English skills to do the assignments required in grad school, as well as help them improve their scores on exams like the TOEFL, IELTS, and GRE. We use academic material and tasks such as listening to lectures, making presentations, reading academic journals, and writing research papers. As part of the writing class, students also work on their admission essays and resumes. We also offer information sessions each semester explaining how to choose and apply to graduate programs in the United States. And we have a guest speaker come from the UT admissions office to help with that presentation. AEP is a unique program because it is designed to be like graduate school. As you can see here with the similarities, students use topics and materials from their own field of study to get practice with the vocabulary, journals, and writing styles they'll need to meet their academic goals. Students must have a low intermediate level minimum of English to enroll in this program. Currently, we do offer AEP classes online and in person in socially distanced classrooms on campus. Students in both the ELP and AEP programs may enroll in additional elective courses. Some of the most popular elective courses are test preparation courses like the TOEFL, IELTS, and GRE. We also have pronunciation classes. The third and final program I would like to tell you about is the International Academy, which is a short-term customized program offered in the winter and in summer. Classes are offered daily for a total of 30 hours per week. And in these classes, students take foundational content in an academic area, and they also have English classes which support their oral and written communication skills. When students enroll, they can choose from 9 available tracks, as you see listed here. So if a student wants to enroll in the accounting program, their schedule will look something like this. They will have finance and accounting classes, and they will also have business English for speaking and business English for writing. The International Academy includes local cultural enrichment activities and site visits to academic departments on campus and local organizations and companies related to the area of study, whichever track the students are in. The International Academy also includes excursions to other Texas cities. Students who study with the ELC in any of our programs may wish to live in local dormitories or apartments, and our staff can help arrange housing if needed. Costs for our programs are broken down by semester, duration of study, and the type of program, either online or in person. And our program costs are all on our website. I will provide a link shortly so that you can go to the website and look at the costs in more detail. Costs for the International Academy are all inclusive for the program, and they include additional fees like housing and food for in-person programming. To apply for our ELC, AEP, or International Academy programs, you can visit our website and look for the Apply button. Again, I'll give you the website in just a moment. For students who require an I-20, we will need a copy of your passport, a financial guarantee, and a $150 tuition deposit in addition to your application. Students who apply for AEP will need to show proof of a bachelor's degree. After students apply, they will receive an acceptance letter along with an appointment for an English placement test so that we can determine what level the students are in and put them in the right level and program. We will also set an appointment date for registration. At that time, students who are traveling to study in person from Brazil will apply for a visa. purchase health insurance, arrange housing and transportation. For Brazilian students who live in the US and wish to study with us, we also require an application, placement testing, and a registration appointment. We will have time for questions a little bit later, but please feel free to reach out to us at any time at the email below, which is elc@austin.utexas.edu. Our website is global.utexas.edu. My apologies, I thought it was on the slide. Here we go, there it is. Here's our website. We also invite you to follow our social media accounts as listed here. You can learn more about our programs and student activities on these accounts. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat as we continue the presentation, or just reach out to us on the email here. And now I'd like to turn it over to my colleague, Veronica Peña, and she will discuss the procedures for admission.
Awesome. Just to make sure everyone can see my screen correctly, are we good to go?
Yeah.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Veronica Peña, and I work in our Houston Admission Center for the University of Texas at Austin. And so if you are located here in the Houston area, please know that we have an Office of Admissions here. We also have an Office of Admissions in Dallas, Texas, the Rio Grande Valley, Texas, as well as admission counselors out in East Texas, San Antonio, Texas, and El Paso, and Laredo, and Corpus Christi. So we do have admissions officers all across to help students with the process of applying to UT. So the information I'm going to share with you today is particularly focused on pursuing a bachelor's degree at the University of Texas at Austin. And I'm going to talk to you briefly, just a little bit more about some of our majors that we offer that you might be interested in pursuing. And then I'll talk briefly about that admissions process. This will be a little bit separate from what was just mentioned, as they are two separate programs. However, they are both being done at the University of Texas at Austin. So let's go ahead and get started as soon as I can find the button to go to the next page. Here we go. Awesome, everyone. So this is a list of all of our academic colleges. They were shared earlier, but I do just want to point them out here. And so students, as you're thinking about what you want to major in at UT Austin, I encourage you to dive into what these majors actually mean. It's very important to explore what types of careers go with these majors. Engineering, what is engineering, right? Business, do I have to be in business to run my own business one day, or there are other majors that can help get me on that right path? And we do offer a number of majors to help our students be successful no matter what route they're going to take. And so I encourage you to check out our website, and I'll share that link in the chat a little bit later. But if you go to our admissions website, it's admissions.utexas.edu. In the search, you want to type in Wayfinder, W-A-Y Finder, Wayfinder. Our Wayfinder website has a list of all of our majors. It tells you what they actually mean, what types of careers come with them, as well as what skill sets you're more than likely going to want to have to go into that particular focus. I do like to point out the ones in orange are our more professional graduate programs. So our Dell Medical School, our graduate school, law school, those are programs that we do offer on our campus as well. But as a student thinking about applying for your undergraduate degree, I do encourage you to really explore what your major might look like. If you're not quite sure what it is you want to do, we do offer our School of Undergraduate Studies for prospective incoming freshman students only, where students can come in undeclared, focus on their basic core curriculum. Core curriculum are going to be general courses that we require all students to take, no matter what degree they're going on. So it's about 48 hours of courses. That's about 2 years of courses. And you can be focused on those courses as well as working with an academic advisor on campus to explore a different major. And so we do, again, have a little bit of everything for everyone. We also offer a number of minors and certificate programs. And so you can pursue those as well and see more information on our Wayfinder website and our admissions website about these. we do offer a number of honors programs that you can be eligible for and apply for as an incoming freshman applicant or as a transfer student. When you think of a transfer student, what that looks like is you had to have graduated from like a high school type of degree or diploma, and then enroll in college courses after that. At that point, you're considered a transfer student. A freshman applicant would be, you simply have got the credentials from a high school degree, and now you are considering applying to the university side without having enrolled at any other college courses after graduating from high school. And so that's kind of what that freshman and transfer application looks like. And we'll talk about that a little bit later, but there are some honors programs you can apply for. These honors programs, it's good to note that we don't have an honors college. So we don't have just one set college, but we have honors programs that are spread out amongst all of our academic colleges. So you have your Canfield Business Honors Program, also known as BHP. That's taught at an MBA level, and that's an actual degree. So your degree would be called, or your major would be called Business Honors Program, and it's taught smaller classes. We also have our Engineering Honors Program, which is more focused on scholarships. We have our Liberal Arts Honors Program, our Moody College Honors Program, which is specifically in our Moody College of Communications. So let's say you're going into any major within communication, that could be a good fit for you. We also have quite a few honors programs underneath our Natural Science Honors Program, such as our Turing Scholars, which is specifically for computer science students. We have our Health Science Scholars, which is for that student who's looking to go to medical school. That program particularly, they do a lot of community service and volunteer service across the city of Austin to help prepare for medical school. We also have our Plan 2 Honors Program. This one's a very unique program. Plan 2 is degree-based. And when I say degree-based, I mean that's your major. So your major would be called Plan 2. Plan 2 is a combination of liberal arts and natural sciences put together for interdisciplinary study. Plan 2, it's taught where it's you and your professor sitting at a round table having a discussion versus a bigger lecture. And so your classroom sizes are going to be a lot smaller. Plan 2 is really for the students who love to read and write and who are really critical analytical thinkers. You're going to have those discussions in Plan 2. And then we have our Texas Honors Computer Science and Business. That's particularly focused for students wanting to go into business and computer science in a joint program. And so we also offer over 60 different honor societies on campus that you can pursue as well. So something to just keep in mind. Now, earlier it was mentioned, we have a lot of students on our campus. We have about 51,000 students. With that in mind, we are a large school. There's no hiding that. But if you think large, think many opportunities for you. But I want you to know that we're going to make sure when you get to UT, you're going to have a smaller learning environment. We're going to make sure you are successful when you get to our campus. Our student to faculty ratio is 18:1, and 60% of our classes have 30 students or less in them. So again, that smaller feel. Our freshman retention rate, what this means is from your freshman year to sophomore year, if you're coming to us, about 96% of our students will continue with their studies. Our four-year graduation rate is 72.2%. And overall, each incoming student, whether you are a freshman incoming student or a transfer student, you are going to be placed in what we call a 360 connection, which is a smaller learning environment for you to get connected with students inside and outside of the classroom. So you come to UT, 52,000 students, right? But you're not just going to be a number when you get to UT. You are going to connect, you're going to build some great relationships, be in some awesome communities, and you're going to thrive as a Longhorn. So just keep that in mind. If you think big, think many opportunities, but smaller learning environments for our students. Overall, we are number 1 in Texas as a public institution, number 14 in the nation, and one of the top 4.
I think Veronica was cut from the
call.
The call.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
wait for some seconds. Veronica, are you back?
Changes. I'm sorry?
Because you were frozen for a second. So you're telling
man.
that you are among the 40 best ones in the world. That was the last thing you said.
Okay, thank you for letting me know, because I would have just kept going. Thank you. Yeah, so we are one of the top 40 universities in the whole entire world. And that's just thanks to the innovation, creativity, and excellence happening on our campus from our professors, faculty, and staff to our students. So a lot happening there, a lot for you to get involved. Let's go ahead and switch gears and talk about how to apply as an incoming applicant. And so, like I mentioned earlier, we have freshman students and we have transfer students. Freshman student would be that student typically coming out of high school or who has not enrolled in college courses after getting that degree from high school. And so as our freshman applicants, we are going to take a holistic approach when reviewing your application. So we are looking at that whole picture. We're looking at what grades did you take? What did you do with your time inside and outside of the classroom? Where are your interests at? What are you passionate about? We are going to take all of that into consideration. There's not exactly one thing that you need. We are looking at that whole picture of you and the environment that you are in and what you're bringing to the table. And you have a lot to bring to the table. So we want to know about it on your application. If you are a transfer student applying, transfer students, you had to have graduated from that high school level and enrolled in college courses. If you do enroll in those college courses, you become a transfer student and you must have 24 hours of transferable credit in progress or completed by the deadline you're applying for. And so that's definitely something you need to keep in mind. 24 hours is typically going to be that year long of college courses, okay? Once you have those 24 hours at least in progress, you can apply as a transfer student. Overall, we are also taking that holistic approach when considering your application. So we are looking at that whole picture. And we want to know about you, again, your interests. Why do you want to go into your first choice major? And we take a look at absolutely everything. Now we are on the Apply Texas application or the Coalition for College application. Either one's acceptable. If you are thinking about applying to a lot of Texas schools, I would encourage you to complete the Apply Texas application. If you are looking at some out-of-state schools, I would encourage you to consider applying on the Coalition for College. But either one's acceptable as a freshman or transfer applicant. These are going to be the applications we're on. Please note we are not on the common application and we do not have our own application for UT. Our application is on Apply Texas or Coalition for College. And overall, on your application, you want to be detailed. You want to tell us about you, your passions, your interests, what do you enjoy, and tell us everything on that level. The more you tell us, the more we can take into consideration as we take that holistic approach. All right, students, and I would mention after you submit Apply Texas or Coalition, you do get access to something called your My Status portal. Your My Status portal will tell you exactly what we have on file for you, what we are missing. And it's very, very important for you to stay connected to your My Status. Again, you don't get access to it until you submit your application for admissions. Housing, we do have places for you to live on campus. Again, this is separate from the program that was just being mentioned, but for housing, we have 14 different resident halls to choose from. We have private style living, we have community style living. Community style would be you and your roommate share a restroom facility with that floor or that wing. We also have suite style where it's two people sharing a connecting restroom with the two other people. And so we do offer those amenities on our campus. You are not required to live on campus, but we encourage you to do so. You can apply for housing as soon as you've completed your application for admissions. Your My Status portal will tell you when you're able to apply for housing. It does typically come with a $50 non-refundable fee saying, hey, I might go to UT, save me a spot on campus. So housing is considered on a first come, first served basis when you apply for admissions purposes. All right, going into tuition and financial aid here. So overall right here is going to be the breakdown of the cost of attendance. And so we'll have for our Texas residents, students, if you have been taking a number of courses here in Houston or in Texas, you can possibly qualify for in-state tuition based off of how long you have been taking your studies here. If not, you would be considered for that non-Texas residency. And so right here will be the breakdown. I like to point out tuition and fees are that direct costs to the institution. All of the other fees you see on there are simply estimated costs you can typically accumulate while attending college. And so they're not direct costs from the institution. The only direct costs you're really going to see there are going to be that tuition and fees, and then room and board if you decide to live on campus. Awesome. And then once you leave the institution, you are part of a large organization called the Texas X's. And our Texas X's are spread across the globe. No matter where you go, you more than likely will see a Texas X. You will see somebody with the hat with the Longhorn or some burnt orange, and you just throw up your hook 'em hand signal and know that they are a Texas X. And we are spread across everywhere. Whether we're supporting our next football game, which is tomorrow, we're really big on football, or our next research opportunity on campus. We just opened up a brand new facility and a program specifically focused on stuttering within our Moody College of Communications. And so we like to celebrate all of that is happening from our not only sports, but also our academics. And once you become a Texas X, your blood actually turns orange. And so you become, again, a part of a large organization. And it's definitely an awesome, lots of opportunities come with that. And so I do want to share our contact information. As you're thinking about applying for admissions for your undergraduate degree, reach out to us. We, again, have offices all across Texas. Our Office of Admissions, they're in Austin, our Dallas office, Houston, and the Valley. I also encourage you all, similarly to what was just shared, to check out our social media websites. Check us out on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, and learn and hear from students and their perspectives. A lot of our social media will have students talking about their experiences as a Longhorn, and we encourage you to check those out. But that is all of the information I have for you today. But please let us know if you have any questions, and definitely do not hesitate to reach out to us. Like I mentioned, my name is Veronica Peña, and I am here in the Houston area. So thank you so much for having us today, and Hook 'em horns.
So thank you very much. Let me give some moments here for the audience. Então, pessoal, se vocês tiverem alguma pergunta, tanto para a Rachelle quanto para a Verônica, vocês, por favor, façam aí. Enquanto isso, let me ask you something about, you were talking to me, Rachelle, about Brazilians coming to study in the language center, was it?
Yes, we actually host Brazilian teachers from all over Brazil. Each year, we've done it for about 3 years, and they were supposed to come this summer to learn about how to teach English, or how to improve their teaching methods in English. And unfortunately, due to the pandemic, they weren't able to come. So we're hoping next year that we will get those teachers back on campus and we can train them on language teaching.
Yeah, it's something that we keep reminding the Brazilians that now the frontiers are closed because of COVID, but they will, I mean, if you want to study abroad, or if you want to study, even if you live in US already, you've got to plan ahead. So it's the time for you to start researching, getting in contact with Veronica, with Rachelle, with other universities to prepare your next year. And for certain, at some point, the frontiers will reopen. And if you have all your documentation and all your plans already started, it will be easier for you to come. So what else you can tell? Did you get contact with many Brazilians there? I mean, direct contact. What are the special characteristics you see in Brazilians?
I can answer that. I feel like there's a big enthusiasm, big personalities. They love to enjoy life and dance. So we love our Brazilians. We love being around them, and they always bring lots of personality and enthusiasm.
Veronica, you mentioned that when you are choosing a student for UT Austin, you take into consideration this holistic approach. I mean, it's not only the grades itself, it's not only numbers. So can you talk a bit more about what UT Austin sees in foreigners, and specifically in Brazilians, that attracts them to, apart from their grades?
Yeah, resiliency and doing some amazing things. And especially if you are taking the time to move and transition to a new environment, a new culture, that takes a lot. That's not easy to do all the time. And so talking about that experience or that interest, that's something we look at in that holistic review process. We like to have students join us from absolutely everywhere. We have students coming from us globally, all across the United States and all across Texas, all from different backgrounds. And we feel it's very important for students to learn from each other from different backgrounds. We don't have that cookie cutter student. And having students come from absolutely everywhere brings a lot to our institution. And that's so important. So when you're applying, tell us about you. Tell us how you grew up. Tell us what your interests are. What are you passionate about? And we really look at that whole picture, and that looks different for everyone. And so as long as you are being detailed on your application and telling us about that all, that's going to help us in that review process, because we do look at your grades. We do, but we also look at, what did you do with your time? Did you just watch Netflix, or did you go and help people in your community, or did you take care of somebody in your family? Did you have to work? Whatever it is, we just want to see that you have that interest in something that you enjoy, and we want you to bring that to our university. Yeah,
I think in Brazil we are quite grade centric when we are selecting students, and it's interesting because we heard from all the universities the same thing. We do not pay attention in the grades, and of course the grades are important. Of course, the best grades tend to grant you the best scholarships, and etc. etc. But that's not only the only thing you pay attention to. So what else? I know you have Brasa there as well, isn't it? An association of Brazilian students.
We have over 1,300 student organizations, and
whoa,
we definitely have quite a few, not just for Brazilian students, but a lot of different communities on campus. So yes, we want to learn about your culture. We want to learn, you mentioned dancing, like they probably have a student organization just for dancing as well within the Brazilian culture. I mean, there's so many ways for you to get involved, and it's all very beautiful.
Very nice. And you mentioned some possibilities of scholarship. So there is scholarships in the university and also other programs. I mean,
go ahead, Veronica.
Yeah, so when it comes to for admission purposes, we do offer a few scholarships. Now, it really depends though. And so we do not offer as many scholarships for international students as because we are a state institution, but we do offer some. And we also offer some through our alumni association, the Texas X's, and then as well as departmental scholarships. And then on our website, actually, and I can share it in the chat as well, we have a list of outside resources that we want any true international students to consider applying for those. Because we are a state institution, scholarships look a little bit different, but we do have a number of outside resources. And so
yeah, that's what we saw in other lectures here, that there are some of the institutions scholarships, but there are institutions which are not the universities themselves specialized in providing scholarships for different reasons, either because the person is dedicated to a certain area of knowledge, or from a certain background, or from, I don't know, for excellency in the grades, etc. So people here are quite silent on questions. I'll just ask you to say the last words for us, and thank you again for participating.
Thank you for welcoming us here today and listening to our presentations. We hope that we'll see you in Austin, or at our language center, or at the greater campus, UT Austin, and hook 'em.
Yeah, hook 'em horns. Thank y'all so much. Have a great evening. We appreciate being here.
E eu vou contar para vocês pouquinho também. Eu tive a oportunidade de conhecer a UT Austin no ano passado. Eles têm uma biblioteca. I'm talking about the UT library that has a large collection of Brazilian stuff. Eles têm uma coleção, uma das maiores coleções, se não estou enganado, da América Latina, de poesia nordestina brasileira. Né? A gente está aqui no consulado, inclusive, pensando em fazer algum evento que foque no cordel, que é uma das nossas, um dos nossos expressões mais bonitas de poesia. I don't know if you know, there is this cordel poetry, which are a very popular kind of poetry, popular in terms of people. of humble people that rhymes, and it's kind of song. Remember a bit of the middle-aged minstrels. So they're especially in Northeast Brazil, and they create these rhymes, and they put it on paper, and they distribute or sell it. And in UT, you've got one of the largest collections in Latin America.
Wow.
In UT Austin.
That's
so
impressive.
I plan to do, I don't know if it will be a presential exhibition, let's say if COVID allows us to, or I don't know, online. We try to find a format to show the Brazilian cordel that you have there. You probably have one of the biggest collections, more than some places in Brazil. So let's see this among many other examples of things that we can do together. Thank you very much, UT, and see you on the next lecture, people. 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I'll be back with our last presentation in the second educational fair. Obrigado, Rachelle, Veronica. A gente volta com o Ministério da Educação às 6 horas aqui de Houston, 8 horas aí do Brasil, para encerrar a feira. Grande abraço e até